Hi everyone, let's talk about Golem, which I just finished a 2-player playthrough for. It's linked in the description if you haven't seen it already. This is just a video where I talk about what I think about the game. If you're interested in that, if you want to see it in action, playthrough is down there, and there'll be a solo playthrough coming very, very shortly. So yes, Golem, it's Virginia Gigli, it's Flaminia Brasini, it's Simone Luciani, the trio behind, they've done lots of games in different combinations and stuff, but Grand Austria Hotel, Lorenzo Il Magnifico. You can see my videos about those games. They are amazing games in their own rights. But this is kind of the heavier, bigger brother of those games. It has, echoes of the kind of restrictions placed on you that are largely your own doing through the decisions that you made early on. From things like Lorenzo Il Magnifico, there is similarity, even though it's done with marbles rather than dice. In the action selection, particularly the passing from Grand Austria Hotel, but it's very much its own game. And as I said, a big, heavy monster of a game, a big, heavy golem of a game. So yeah, to begin with, it is, I think, hard to see how all of this is going to come together when you're just learning it, I mean. But once you are in the flow of the game, and as with a lot of meaty Euro games, you can't just do everything, or you can try and you won't really get anywhere. You've got to kind of pinpoint where your interests are going to lie. There are three main sections of the game in the golems and the studying the books and the artifacts, and you can definitely do a little bit of all of them to try and get some extra income, to get some extra combos, but really concentrating on one of them can be really, really profitable, but you've got to leverage it right. Like the books, spending too much time in the books, the points are coming from mainly the multiplication of the number of menorahs you've got and the number of things you've done. So whether that's golems made for the red, artifacts discovered for the yellow, or columns of books for the blue. I absolutely love getting the books. I love how you get that big juicy bonus for getting the book, and then your whole column activates, especially if you've gone all the way up the study track, and I can have 5 books in each column. And so, you better believe this column is going to give me a ton of stuff now, whether it's those hard to reach things like the gold or the study books, or just some resources and points. It's all vitally helpful, especially as, even though there are only 4 rounds in the game, you do start to, you've got a little bit of an engine going that you are probably going to produce very little in the first round. Your students might not have even made it to resource producing spaces. You've maybe unlocked 1 artifact at best, maybe upgraded it a little bit. But by the end of the game, you can see that all of this stuff, everything with a hand underneath it, is income. You can end up with massive, massive turns, particularly, actions like get all of your income from your students. So rubbish action that you don't want early on, but later on, it can be really, really fruitful, especially giving you the resources you need to activate everything else. The combos really come out towards the end of the game, especially, well, you've seen it probably, but in the playthrough where, getting a blue marble to get new golems for me just kind of turned into a little bit of a loop of getting more and more and more things. And you can really leverage some of these things to your advantage, particularly, when I build a golem, I get to activate it and move it. And when I get a golem, I get to activate this artifact. And when I take this particular marble. So combining all of these things in one great big go can be so, so satisfying. It takes you, long into the game, and it's like, it will get faster as we get more experience. I have played the game at this point with solo and 2 players. I've played it 5 times. So take from that what you will. It's still early days. By the way, they're all just called first impressions for this, so I don't get fussed about it. But it's rare that I've played a game once when I make these videos. It's just easier to just call them that. Especially because I don't sit down and write a review or anything. But hey, this is talking about Golem. So yes, in terms of if you want a load of different things out to vitally change the configuration of the game, that is going to happen from the different characters. There's only 4 each game, and there's a deck of 1 to 3s and another set of 4s. Loads of those can come out in different combinations, different orders, especially, someone giving you points for all the upgrades and stuff that you've done coming out really early. Not going to be very useful, is it? And depending on your situation, you might just want to ignore all of that. I love the push and pull. This is getting sidetracked a little bit, but I love the push and pull of the colours of marbles as well to satisfy those characters. but also to give you the movement of the students that can be difficult to do. Like I say, all these things like the gold can be hard to get. The study track movement can be hard to do, but depending on your situation, depending on the engine that you've built, can be very easy. Like getting this book that gives you study track movement, getting the blue column doubled up that will give you more and more. Yeah. I'm getting more and more and more off track here, though, aren't I? But yeah, I love kind of disregarding the things they want to get the rewards from them, to get the black marble that will give you more student movement. But is that worth giving it up? You'll often realize, oh, I should have gone for that other thing when more stuff becomes apparent, or when people have gotten in your way. But they're different. The configurations of books, the order they come out will be different. The neighborhood tiles, all of these, there are 10 each in the box. 7 come out each game. They come out in numerical order, so better as they go along, usually, but again, situational. And then there are a ton of different starting tiles for you to choose from at the start. There's a draft of those, as well as objective cards starting out with different ones of those. The action tiles, you will see all of the actions. In a 2-player game, you will see every action tile once. In a game with more players, more are out every round, and so they will cycle through. Yeah, so much about the game changes, but even if it didn't, even if this was just your configuration, what other people do, they aren't necessarily blocking you in the streets or anything. There's a race for these menorahs, and yeah, that might be about getting something for you. It might be about denial if you've just happened to move there a lot. Well, you probably wouldn't have done so well if you're not going for that menorah at all. And getting the rabbi actions are one and done, apart from the universal one. And getting the marbles first. You might desperately need that colour to satisfy the character that's out. You might really want the black one to get all of the student movement. There might only be one marble available. It's good that it's got the passing thing, as I mentioned, from Grand Austria Hotel, that you don't like the marbles that are out there. Well, pass. There's going to be one fewer out there, so everyone else is going to get to go unless they pass as well. And then there's going to be one marble taken out, and then we'll put the rest back in and see how they lie then. It's less and less likely that you're going to get a powerful action, but maybe there are no marbles in the thing that you want and you can't afford the mirror action. Maybe there are no marbles in that as well. Or you are just desperate for a particular configuration for things to really come out your way, that you're just really crossing your fingers will come out. It is a marvelous system for something that is just, the synagogue. I think I can really show you that much. It's cardboard laid out. I don't know why I'm looking at that camera up there, but it's cardboard laid out in a kind of dice tower configuration. So you drop the marbles in there, and they're gonna fall where they go. They end up getting pushed out into the front of the synagogue and coming down those tracks. Yeah, it works really, really well. There is there's possibility for more powerful actions with more players, but they've said on Board Game Geek, and I trust them, and the results are going to come out when more and more people get hold of the game and start playing it and see their reaction. But this has all been tested for the number of marbles per player. It doesn't. It's not like you get half the marbles for 2 players than you do at 4. I think it's 10, 12, 14 marbles. But yeah, there are a couple of points that are a little bit iffy in the rulebook, but I think it is laid out beautifully. I think that just I mentioned in the playthrough, there's a little thing about adjacency for one action tile, but largely, any questions that I had were pretty much, oh yeah, I didn't read that thing right. Yeah, that is very, very clear. It's not a fault of the rulebook at all. This is a game with a lot of stuff going on, and where, yeah, you can, if you're playing with someone that needs to know everything up front, then yeah, there is a lot to know. You've got to know about all of these different areas and how they're going to intersect throughout the game. So yeah, it's a bit of a big teach, but yeah, I think if you are playing with people that are happy to just go with the flow, just to take some turns, and I'll show you what happens, then it all starts to click. Like, it depends what kind of learner you are, doesn't it? But for me, yeah, even after we'd read the whole rulebook, I was thinking, I don't have a clue what I'm doing with this. But as soon as I got into maybe the first couple of turns, actually, I was just like, yeah, this makes sense now. I don't know how to do well in it, but yeah, I am comfortable enough going forward with it. Yeah, there is just so many avenues you can go down, even with just those, it's only 3 main areas. It's all about the mix and match of that. It's all about how you can leverage all of your stuff. Do you go for this strategy of being cheap, killing off all of your golems so you won't have to pay loads of knowledge, and if you can't pay that knowledge, you'll get punished in points? and make it cheaper and cheaper to make new golems as well. If there isn't a golem in that district, it's only 3 clay to make a new one, so that's really beneficial to you. But at the same time, if you can get loads of golems out at once, take the work action that activates 4 of them, and oh, by the way, I've got that upgrade that gives me a free work action whenever I take one, so I can activate 5 golems at once. I don't know how feasible that is in terms of costs and all that stuff, but yeah, if you could activate 5 different tiles in one great big work action, that would be amazing. And so, yeah, other people might be wanting to try and take the marbles out there in front, but it's a game where denying other people, there's a very good chance that's going to cost you too much, unless it's something that you're kind of competing for directly. You just doing something to get in someone's way is probably going to hurt you just as much, if not more. So there is, there's competition in this. There's no negative interaction in terms of stealing things from another player. As I said, there's the race there. There's being first on the marbles and stuff. But yeah, this is such a satisfying game. As I said, you start off quite small, not doing very much, not earning very much, but it really starts to snowball in just 4 rounds, where you will only take as well. Of course, there are bonuses, and the work action is technically a load of different actions depending on your number of meeples. You will only get 4 rounds, 2 marbles, and a rabbi action each round. It doesn't seem like a lot, but yeah, it snowballs, it combos. I was trying to say combo and combine at once. And yeah, it just flows beautifully. It ends at just the right time. You just needed, not even 1 more round, you needed 1 more action probably to get some beautiful plan off. Maybe you were lucky enough to just do it in the time, but it ends at that really satisfying point where you wish there was just a little bit more. Does not outstay its welcome at all. I feel like it is going to be massively different, as well as all of that variable stuff that I mentioned, just the game in itself. As these things start to come out and you're nudged in these different directions, you start to see what your strengths should be this game, what you're going to do. The objective cards might mean nothing to you. It doesn't matter. As long as you have made something else your strength, you can do really well in the game. As I said, I'm talking like I'm some old sage at this. I'm pretty new to the game myself, but I have absolutely been blown away by it. Expectations were high from those other games that I mentioned, but yeah, it has definitely impressed me massively. I love that. I love a gimmick, and I love a good meaty Euro game as well. I love that marbles can be put into a solid, a meaty game, and come off not as you stop thinking very quickly of it as, oh, this lovely little marble run. It's a great bit of fun at the start of every round, but yeah, it just works beautifully in a kind of parallel way to the dice drafting from Grand Austria. But yeah, Golem completely stands on its own. If this was the first game I played by this trio, I would be blown away by it all on its own. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and what do I know? The playthrough is there. There is a huge 2-player playthrough. There will be another solo playthrough. And yeah, talking about solo, that works really well as well. You'll see it in the playthrough, but just a deck of cards, you draw from them, and it just basically defines what marbles they're going to get. They, of course, get to cheat a load of actions. Their resources are all treated the same. They've got a resource track that will earn them points if they get loads of resources, if they hoard loads, or cost them points if they spend too many. They're allowed to go into debt a little bit. But to determine when they get a rabbi action, there is kind of half a rabbi in the top, middle, or bottom of each card, and if they combine, it makes a complete rabbi. That's when they take the action. It's a nice little touch. You'll see it in the playthrough. I won't just keep describing it. It might even be up. It probably will be for the rest of time. There's only a few days where there won't be a solo playthrough, but there will be this video. But for the rest of time, they will both coexist, and you will see them linked in the description, maybe. Thank you very much for watching this. The playthrough has all the facts whether you will be interested or not. This is just my gushing about a game I have massively enjoyed. Thank you for watching, though, and I hope to see you in a future playthrough. Bye, everyone.